Welcome back, guys. In this video we are going to do our first React project, which is called as counter program. So here we have a heading with the name counter program, and bottom of that heading we have a simple number which is initially 0. So here we have two buttons. So if you click this add one button, the number will increase one time, and if you click this subtract one button, the number will decrease one time. So first I will click the add one button. So here you can see the number is increased plus 1. So if you click this add button once again, it will increase to 2, 3, 4, 5 like this. So if you click this subtract button, so it will decrease one time. So here you can see the number is decreased from 5 to 4, 3, 2. So if you again click this add button, it will increase 1. So like this is the counter program. Now we are going to implement this in React.js. So now I will create a new React project for this program. So here I will create a new React project. So as of now we have in React CSS folder. So to create a new React project, we have to come to this React projects folder. So first we will navigate to React projects folder. Now we are in React projects folder. Let's create a new React project. npx create React app followed by the application name. Here our application name is counter app. Press enter. It will start creating a new React application for us. So it may take around 2-3 minutes depending upon your system performance. Here we go. Our counter app is created successfully in the React projects folder. You can see here a new folder is added with the name counter app. So click on it to expand. So now we need to create a component in this source folder. So before creating a component, first we need to navigate into this counter app by writing cd counter app. So now we are in the counter app. Let's run this. npm start. Here you can see the application executed successfully. Now we need to run localhost 3000 in the Google Chrome. So here I will type localhost 3000. You can see here this is the default output for any React application. I will remove all the default stuff in the app.js. I will write simple h1 tag with the name counter program. Here I will remove all this stuff. So I will write h1 tag. In the h1 tag, I will write counter program. Let's see the output. Here you can see we got the output. So this is the program what we are going to build it now. So we got the first h1 text. Now we need to write one number with the help of h1 text. So here I will create a new class component because we are using the state management in this program. So state management cannot be used in the functional components. That's why we have to create a class component in the src folder. So here I will create a new component with the name cc.js. cc means class component. First I will write the class component import statement. Import react component from React. After that we have to write the class name, class cc extends react.component. In this we have to write the render method which is used to return HTML content. Return. So I will return one div. In this I will write the h1 text. So first of all I will write the h1 text as 1. Let's see the output whether it is created or not. So before executing it, we have to export the cc component and we have to add that in app.js. So I will write the export default cc. Now we have to import it in app.js. Import cc from, in the colons you have to write the file path cc. Now we have to add the cc component in the div, main div of the app.js component. So less than symbol followed by the component name slash greater than symbol. Let's go back to Google Chrome. Here you can see the number is created successfully. Now we need to create two buttons bottom of this number. Here you can see we need to create two buttons. Let's go back to the class component. So bottom of the h1 tag we need to create two buttons. So the first button is add one and the second button is subtract one. Here you can see we got the two buttons. First we will add the styling for this button. Afterwards we will write the actual logic for this program. First we will add the styling. So to add the styling for this CC component, I will create a new style sheet in the source folder. So I will create the style sheet with the name counter.css. So in this only we have to write the styling for the h1 text and the buttons. First I will write the styling for the buttons. First I will add the margins for the both the buttons. Margin 20. Margin 20 px. Afterwards I will add the background color as blue. Sorry. And the text color as white. Here we have added the styling for this button. Now we need to import the style sheet in the class component, means cc.js component. We have to import it. Import. In the colons we have to write the file path counter.css. Now let's see the output whether the styling is applied or not. Here you can see the styling is applied successfully, but not exactly. Now we have to add some border radius for these buttons and we have to add the border color also. I will add the border radius as 5px and the border color as blue. So we got the exact output in the previous demo. Now we have to add this background color for this page. So to add the background color, we have to add the background color to the body. Body background color. So I will use background color teal. Now let's see the output. Here you can see we got the exact styling for this page as like the demo. Now we have to write the logic for these buttons. So if you click on this button, the number should increment 1. If you subtract this button, the number should subtract 1. So we have to write this logic in the class component. So first we will create the states. So before creating state, we have to create the constructor in the class component. Constructor. In this constructor, we have to write the super method. Super. Now we have to create the state with the help of this dot state. So here this dot state is an object. That's why we have to write the properties in the curly braces. So first we have to write only one property because we are using only one property, that is number. So we have to create one property and one value. So I will create the property name as number and initially the number is 0. Control S. Now we have to access this number in the HTML content, means in the h1 tag. So to access any external variable in the HTML content, we have to use the curly braces. So instead of writing 1, I will use the curly braces. In the curly braces, I will write the external variable name. So here the external variable name is number. So I will use this dot state dot number. Now let's see the output. Here you can see the number is 0 because we have initialized with 0. Now we have to create the functions for these both on-click buttons, add one and subtract one. So first I will create the function for add one button. On-click equal to, in the curly braces you have to write the function name. So for subtract also I will create the on-click. On-click equal to, so before writing these two functions, first I will create the two functions. I will create first function as add equal to parenthesis followed by the arrow function. In this we have to write the logic. In the similar way, I will create the subtract function also. Subtract is equal to parenthesis followed by the arrow function. In this you have to write the subtract logic. So in the add function, we have to increment the number by 1. So we have to use the set state method because we are manipulating the state variable. So whenever you want to manipulate any state variable in the class component, you have to use the set state method. Manipulating means changing the initialized value of a variable. So here the number initialized with 0. Now we want to change it to 1 after clicking the button. So we have to use the set state method. In the add function, I will write the set state method. Set state, it accepts the object as a parameter. In that object, we have to write the first property as property name. Here the property name is number. We want to change the number value. We want to change the number value by incrementing the 1. So that's why we have to access the previous number value. So if you want to access the previous number value, we have to use this dot state dot number. We have to increment it by 1. That's why we need to use +1. So every time you click this add button, it will increment the number value by 1. In the similar way, we have to copy this text and paste it in the subtract method, and we have to change the just symbol. Instead of plus, you have to write the minus. That's it. We have created 2 functions successfully. Now we need to add the function names in the on-click functions of these respective buttons. So first I will write the add function for this add one button. Add this dot add. So for the subtract, I will write this dot subtract. This dot subtract. That's it. I'll press Ctrl S. Now let's go back to the Google Chrome. We'll check the output whether it is working or not. Here you can see initially the number is 0. After clicking the add one button, it should increment by 1. After clicking the subtract one button, it should decrement by 1. So first I will click the add one button. Here you can see the value is incremented by 1. Once again I will click the add one button. Here you can see the value is incrementing. Here you can see 3, 4, 5. Now I will click the subtract one button. Here you can see the value is decremented by 1. Initially the value is 5. After clicking this button, it changed to 4. Once again I will click the subtract one button. So it should change to 3, 2, 1. Like this way we can implement counter program in React.js. Once again I will explain all the things in class components. In the class component we have one h1 text and the 2 buttons. So the one h1 text is storing the number value and the 2 buttons for adding 1 and subtracting 1. So to get this h1 value, we have created a state variable with the value number, and we have initialized that number with 0. So after clicking this button, we have initialized a function with the name add function. After clicking the subtract button, we have initialized the function with the name subtract. So in the add function, we have incrementing the value by 1. In the subtract function, we are incrementing the value by -1. We are decrementing by -1. So like this way, we can implement counter program. Thank you.